have an exact date, actually. It was 1989. My partner of 8 years, Joe McCann, contracted AIDS. And we found out he had AIDS coming back from a trip to Paris. When I got back and it was clear that we were going to start an 18-month journey, I immediately went to the chairman of our company at the time and told him, and I was in senior management, I was the executive vice president at the time, and I told him, I just made a statement to say, look, my partner of 8 years has AIDS. We've never had this discussion, but I am gay. I'm in a committed relationship, and I expect your full support. And that was not even a question. It was really a demand. And fortunately, I'm able to tell you that he stepped right up. In fact, in the long term, he ended up being a great advocate and philanthropist in that area. So that it turned out to be a very important moment for me. Prior to that, I had been pretty much closeted. So it took an act of AIDS to really bring me out. Well, first of all, I would say that you've got to get to your allies to speak to them and to communicate the issues. That is done by what I would say is the most important issue is networking. You've got to network. And that means in the business community, in the social community, and befriend straight people and allies who don't necessarily share your lifestyle. That being said, once you've made those friends and they are considered friends, you start having them understand the difficulty of breaking through. You know, most of these folks have not experienced what it's like to be gay any more than they can experience, or we can experience what it's like to be Black or some other minority. It's a unique experience that has to be shared. Two, I think it's really important that you work with qualified recruiters to tell our story as well. I think that oftentimes we forget that there are people out there who are speaking to straight allies we may not know. I think we have to keep telling our story. I think they have to understand that we have a voice that's going to help affect their company in positive ways. Finally, I would say you focus on some of the non-public companies. What I find is in NACD, one of the problems we experience is that we're dealing with primarily publicly owned companies. And there's a very limited market for board members in those companies. But there's a huge, vast amount of privately owned companies who require boards and need board assistance more than oftentimes public companies. So my suggestion is one starts centering in on private companies, get their sea legs, and that allows them to sort of move up in the ranks. Well, as you know, I sit on the Recology board, and I'm very fortunate to be working with Dennis Wu, who's an amazing board chair, and Mike Sangiacomo, our CEO, who listen to the board members and give us all equal weight in decisions that are made that affect our company. As a GAPE, we make many important decisions. As an example, we're going through the wildfires right now in California, Washington, and Oregon, all where we have locations. This impacts our staff, it impacts the employees, it impacts our customers, and it impacts our revenue. That being said, as an LGBTQ person, I think what we look at right now is the issue of diversity of the organization. You know, we are a business, the waste management business has historically been dominated by males, and in many cases, white males, certainly in senior management. With my colleague, Debbie Alvarez Rodriguez, we really brought to the fact that we felt it was important that our company reflect on all levels the diversity, which is our city, San Francisco, and the diversity of the states in which we are represented. They've taken it very seriously. We have undergone a great deal of diversity training. We are also out virtually seeking people, minorities, and for positions where we would have potentially filled them internally. We're actually looking externally if it is necessary to bring in the best talent in the various minority groups. So I think that's made a big difference.